From sunrise until sunset, and dusk until dawn, every minute of every hour of every day. On the front line, it's key workers keeping our country moving, putting themselves at risk to keep others safe, for the vulnerable, for the sick, for the young and the old. We rise to the challenge. We care, we protect, we help, we fix, we deliver for everyone. We will get through this, and it's thanks to our key workers. We're proud to represent heroes, and not all heroes wear capes. Key workers deserve recognition, protection and support. Get us on your side. Join us today.
Good evening. Welcome to another Hermes evening package with Mick Wicks, Ed Cross and Susie Jenner hosting for you and answering your questions tonight. Have a wonderful evening. I'm sure we're going to put one or two smiles on your faces with some of the news from today. So I'll let Mick lead off.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Great to see fantastic attendance, and I've been looking at the WhatsApp groups for the last 20 seconds, and there are people posting messages saying who's watching, and so a big shout out to you all. Hope you're all keeping well and safe, and hope you're enjoying this lovely weather that we're having. It's about time we had some nice weather, isn't it, to go with our smiles. And talking about smiley people, how you doing, Susie? How you doing, Ed?
All right, thank you, Mick.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay, and how are you doing, Mick, as well?
Well, funny enough, I mean, it's not been a bad couple of weeks, really, has it?
It's been good.
I mean, it's been pretty good. I mean, I don't think people really want me to go on about the fantastic deal that we've done with Uber. You know, I mean, I don't think it's not made much news, has it? Like, you know, but
I think we've heard about it, Mick.
Yeah, but actually, I think we're proving that actually we are the union for people in the gig economy. That, you know, we've got a good agenda. We're trying to listen to people that are working in these areas, and we're trying to do something about it. And you know, you can often overpromise and underdeliver. And I think what we're trying to do is a balance. That, you know, trade unionism and collectivism is relevant. So anyway, enough about Uber. I know people want to talk about Hermes tonight, and there's some big issues that we've been dealing with the last week or so. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, colleagues, and I know Susie and Ed feel the same way, and so do the rest of our national team. I think last Monday was a bit of a watershed moment for a number of people. I saw the WhatsApp groups from region to region basically explode. People upset, people angry, people distraught that with what happened with the upgrade payments and the non-payment and the refusals and everything else. And obviously, we felt we had to respond. And I just want to say something to people. Please don't think that we were responding too slow, or that we weren't really interested, or that we didn't care. It's easy sometimes to make a statement and publish that statement and fly off the handle. We are part of a team, and I think it warranted some conversation between ourselves as national reps, getting feedback from our members in the regions about what the effect was, and then carefully considering that, and then giving some advice. But not only did we need to do the advice, we also had to put in place some actions as well. You know, that's what we are about. It's about actions as well as advice, and I think we've handled that fairly right. And you know, to some people that want us to react immediately to their email or their WhatsApp message, I'm sorry, we're not going to do that. We're not going to make knee-jerk decisions. We're not a company at the end of the day. We are a representative body of people, of members. And actually, we have to gauge the biggest voice, not just one or two individuals. So if one or two of you were a bit upset, thought we were ignoring you or not taking any notice, that has nothing to do with that. You know, there are thousands of G&B members that are now working at Hermes. And obviously, it does take some time for some news to filter through sometimes. And so we had to listen to all of them. So you've seen what we've done. And we wrote a letter to the company. And there is a little bit of confusion amongst one or two members. And I don't want to steal the thunder and the show on this, because I do want Susie and Ed to come in, because, you know, I think what they've done over the last few days, along with our national reps, has been fantastic. The solidarity that they're showing with people, it's a real acid test. Is solidarity. It's not always easy to act in that type of manner. It's easy to talk it. It's sometimes a bit more difficult to walk it. And I think what we tried to do by giving that advice and by making the response to the company that we did has brought about one or two things. So, firstly, we had to be really quite careful about what we were doing. And secondly, you know, I've seen some issues where some people do tend to make some comments which they think is genuine fact, and actually it's anything but factual. So, for instance, there was nothing in our news brief or our emails to people that advised people to actually take out a particular action. What we've said, if people read the news brief very carefully, it actually says if an individual member decides to take action because they are so distraught and fed up with what's taken place, and they think they have been genuinely swindled and defrauded, that if they decide to leave their parcels for the company to correctly ban them, if that individual is threatened or given an in or have their work withdrawn, we will then go to all our members and ask, are people prepared to take some form of action? So we weren't asking people to take action. We were saying what we would do if an individual member would be threatened. That is solidarity at the end of the day. We knew we couldn't advise people or instruct them to leave your parcels behind. It is an individual choice. And there are various reasons for that. It's got nothing to do with whether it's industrial action or not. That's actually a sideshow issue. The real issue is about it. There are some people that may not be able to afford to do that, plain and simply, that rely on that money, and that's the way it is. And I'm not going to be one that puts people into hardship along that. And I think So if people read our news brief, it quite clearly is not encouraging an action. It states that if an individual member takes that action, we will back them and we will support them. But we will go to the collective membership and ask you all to support what we would then advise to help that member. And so that's where we are. But enough about that, because things have changed in the last 10 hours. So things have slightly changed in the last 10 hours. And this is where Ed and Susie now come in and explain to you what has happened since we wrote that letter and since we've sent out that news brief. And I have got one thing to say. I do apologise that the news brief was not emailed yesterday, that it was only put on the WhatsApp groups. And I know not all members are on the WhatsApp groups. So sorry if you only received that email this morning. There was just a capacity issue and we couldn't do both and get it out at the same time. So I do apologise about that, but we got it out first thing this morning via the email system to those that are, so everybody's now seen it. Anyway, Susie, what do you think? I'm going to go to you because I know Ed is a little bit like me sometimes. Once we start talking, find it a little bit difficult to stop. So let's go to you first, Susie.
Thanks, Mick. That's very good of you. What do I think about what's happened today? Well, we've had a response from the company. We've had a response from Connor in relation to the email. I think a positive response. Do you want me to say what's in the response?
Well, if you want, I mean, I think it's important to tell people exactly what was said to us as well. I mean, so we've had an official letter back, haven't we, from Connor? We might need to explain to everybody who Connor is. And also we had a verbal response from the Chief Operating Officer as well, didn't we, Carl? So go on then, Susie, you go into it.
Well, Connor, I'm sure most people know, Connor is the Director of Delivery. They've seen his name at the bottom of all the communications that come out. And as I say, we had a communication from him today, basically to say that the company wants all couriers to be paid correctly. Doesn't always seem that way, but that's what they do. They're aware that there are issues. They're aware that there are issues with the invoices. They're aware that there's a potential issue with the upgrades. The admin payments weren't paid correctly, which we know. Going forwards, they're looking to correct the issue with the admin payments and the upgrades. And hopefully there's going to be an invoice coming out in the next week with the shortfall on. And that will be going into couriers' bank accounts, hopefully, in 2 weeks' time.
Wow. Can you hear the stunned silence? Nobody believes us. No one
will believe us. No.
Nobody believes us, do they?
So that's in relation to the misbands and the missing admin payments that we had a problem with this month. And that date for payment will be the 22nd of June. Misbanded parcels. We've been told that there's a new system that they're working on. Obviously, we'll believe that when we see it, but they are working on a new system to avoid or to, I don't know, to alleviate the misbands. Where they're going to work towards a system where they weigh and measure and base payment on that as opposed to client pre-advice. Don't know. Unpaid collections. We've got that as well.
Yeah.
That was the big file where I'm sure a lot of couriers know that there's a held file that they've had to email in every month to have the collections released. We actually raised that with the company several weeks ago. They've potentially identified the problem, and those payments are now also going to be released to couriers. There should be nothing in the held file, and all that money, unpaid collections, will now be released to couriers as well. We don't yet have a timeline for that, the payment date, but that we believe is imminent. That's about it. Hand over to my favourite chairman.
Yeah. Come on then, Ed. Come on, let's say your two.
Just to come on top of what Susie said there. The 22nd was actually confirmed to me about 40 minutes ago, direct from Connor. We will receive invoices either the back end of this week or early next week, and that is for the misbanded payment and the appropriate admin payments. So some of you out there, I would suspect, are in for quite a chunk of money. You know, this is serious money to many out there. The one thing I think we have received today, and I know to some of you it will be empty words, but I think as a national committee and certainly as a union, and certainly I think Mick was a little bit stunned himself this morning, was both in writing and from the Chief Operations Officer, we had an unreserved apology, which I think even Mick was a bit stunned at. We've never had that before. I think they really just didn't know what to do with Mick's email. Thankfully, they've done the right thing. And again, I think they realise that we're not here just as window dressing. We are here to represent our members, and that's what we're going to do. If our members are affected, if our members are challenged, if our members are not paid correctly, we're on the case. Yeah. So that is absolutely confirmed. And I think you will all be receiving an email. They're going to email this out to you as well, at the company. But you will receive into your bank on the 22nd of June all your missing payments for misbands and the appropriate admin payments, which is huge. And I know, like I say, it's a chunk of money to some people. So, you know, we did listen. And again, look, we need your support on this. If this happens again, we react to what you tell us. Again, I think we were all the national reps were stunned when we saw those WhatsApp groups light up, and they lit up. Okay, they really lit up. You told us exactly. And to be honest with you, I've had email upon email on this, and I've had some people on the phone to me, and I've got to be honest with you, almost in tears. This is serious money to them. I mean, one courier told me this week it is literally the difference between her being able to pay her rent for a flat. It's not acceptable, okay? And we are going to be watching this. And further to that, the company have made a pledge now that we will be meeting them on a regular basis, right? As soon as any invoices come out, we will be meeting them literally on the Monday, right? That invoice comes out to discuss any pay issues. We're not letting this go anymore. We're not letting this build up till it gets to this state where couriers literally may not be able to pay their rent, may not be able to put fuel in their vehicles. We're not having it anymore. So the company will be meeting with us on the Monday of every invoice, and we will be discussing any problems that you have, and we will be talking through it with them, and we will want resolution. Okay. Okay.
There's a couple of questions that have come up, Ed.
I was just going to say, I've just seen one. So what we are from Matt Timberland.
There's actually some before that.
Go on then. I'd missed some of them.
Right. I just want to. So Kirsty asked about the SOS payments and stuff like that.
Right. I'll answer that one, Mick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to hold my hands up. We are behind with these. Okay. and again, it's not an excuse, it's an apology. We normally draw up a list, and we literally just have not had the time with investigating the pay deal issues. We thought addressing this was more important, judging by the amount of people and members that wanted this upgrade dealing with. So look, I hold my hands up. I'm at fault. Blame me. What I am going to do, I'm going to put a post out on all the WhatsApp groups. We need your information. Any missing SOS payments you've had, you know the email address is mine and Susie's. We will rectify that, I promise you, and I will go after the money. So, my fault entirely. We've just not had the time. You know, the National Committee have been working overtime on various things, which, again, it's not side issues. It's money that's important.
Okay.
And it's the bonus payments that we've tried to sort out, and we're going to send that to the company. Sorry, Mick, go on.
No, there's quite a few questions coming in, and I'm just a little bit conscious. So everybody just bear with us. So you've got the answer about the SOS payments. Jerry, you've made a point about later van times if people start weighing and measuring. Look, to be honest, the main issue last Monday was people were upset that they weren't being paid. They weren't being paid. To be honest with you, if there are issues, which is hypothetical about late vans anyway, if there are those issues, well, that can be addressed at a time. I think the real issue is we need to see a proper system in place that properly measures and weighs the parcels, which will stop the overwhelming majority of misbanded parcels that are taking place. And I think that's, we want couriers to be paid correctly. You want to be paid correctly. So I think that is the issue that first and foremost we need to sort out. Tricia, you've made a point about will upgrades be rejected? Do you know, I'd love to say to you, well, actually, that should all be a thing of the past. I don't think that potentially is going to be a thing of the past at the moment, because actually they need to do something with the systems. I mean, part of the explanation that's been given to us about a switching over of the system that has caused this, and that is what stunned us last week. I think what stunned us last week was the overwhelming majority of people who had put in upgrades. Because let's be honest, not all couriers claim their upgrades. You know, I mean, there are a number of couriers. Well, that's it. That's the parcel. I'll just deliver that. Not everybody puts in an upgrade. So there is that thing. What stunned us was that it was nearly everybody that had an overwhelming majority of their upgrades being rejected. That has been different. What has normally been taking place before that, it's not that everybody's had all their upgrades rejected. They've had a percentage where the company have questioned their upgrades, basically. This was undoubtedly something completely unique. And that is what stunned us all, which basically it was another manual issue to do with the IT. And there are things that have been said to us today, which I think in commercial confidentiality terms are going to remain that way, because I think the company has to do certain things. We've been quite clear with them that, you know, we've had enough of this. We've had enough of couriers being upset that they're being paid short every month, or they're being paid correctly. But then when they do the company's job and upgrade the parcels correctly, then actually those payments have been rejected. Trish, very briefly, I hope this is a one-off. I hope this is a one-off, that they have spotted what the issue was, that it was a manual issue with an IT system. Can I hand on heart say, well, yeah, it's all resolved? No, I can't, because I've been here too many times with Hermes, IT systems and pay systems. So let's just see how we go. Let's just see how we go.
Right, just some of the questions coming up there, Mick. People saying they've had parcels with labels incorrectly.
Yeah.
I have personally spoke to Connor, who is going himself to look into this, but I need your evidence. Don't send them to anybody else. Put them on my email address. What I need is a picture. I don't care what the weight is. I just want to correct the barcode and the label, right? So if you've got one that has no weight on it, that has 0 kilograms on it, which I think Steph has just said, send me a picture of it, okay? I will send that directly to Connor, and I will be chasing up with him that this is sorted, because actually he wasn't aware of this, right? I'll be honest with you, I wasn't aware of how bad it was myself till I've seen some of the evidence coming in. So firstly, my email address alone for the label issues, okay? Because we are going to make sure that these companies do it right, okay? Because they have to. Now, Connor has promised me that he will, so let's put him on his word, right? And I will make sure that every piece of information you send me goes direct to Connor, so he can put it right.
Brilliant. We just got a lovely message there from Susie asking, does she need to email admin to get back rejected misbands from the last pay? I would hate to disagree with you in public. I would just say for belt and braces approach, I think she should do, because she's got a record. I know what the company have told us, that they're going to pay everybody back. I'm just wondering, though, whether we should say, if you've not been paid correctly, you should have email courier admin anyway. I just think the courier has got the evidence that they've emailed.
You've got the evidence. Yeah, if you've got the evidence, fine. But if you haven't got the evidence, I know what career admin are going to come back with, and they're going to say, send us the evidence. In all fairness, I don't think Connor is looking for that now. I think Connor and Carl said quite clearly. But if they've got the evidence, send it in. And because actually that evidence going in, they can pass on to the people that are doing this, saying, actually, these were genuinely misbranded.
So a similar question from Mohammed here about January.
Well, if you've got that evidence, then you need to then send it into career admin by all means. What that means is you've got an email record that you've done that.
Yep.
Oh, do I need to? Right, another one. Do I need to re-email career admin? No.
That is sorted and done, Steph. We have the email that will be coming out. We'll be checking it with the national reps just to make sure it's right. Then it will be coming out to everybody, and you will all be contacted personally about all your missing collections. Yeah, and
just to amplify that, just to help amplify that, Ed. Sorry for cutting across you. I didn't mean that.
That's all right. No.
Just to amplify, one of the things that I haven't mentioned. Not only did we get an email from Connor today about the misbands and the upgrades, he also sent us a copy of the notification that he's going to send to couriers over the collections. So he's actually sent us a copy of what they are going to send out to couriers. So hopefully you should be receiving that very shortly. Elizabeth, how far back? How long is a piece of string, really? If you've got the information and you think you've been underpaid, then claim for it. Claim for it. It's your pay at the end of the day. Next, Anna's. Oh, come on, Susie. You've been a bit quiet. Come on, jump in on this one.
I'm just reading. Yeah. What do we do about next hangers with bags in and bags with 6 hangers in?
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Send it back.
Right. Okay. Just to clear up on that, there is a legitimate agreement in place that Next can put 6 items right, in one parcel. That is an agreement. That agreement has been in since the start of the next contract when I started 20 odd years ago. Okay. The difference is if you are seeing bags, boxes of shoes. I mean, somebody the other day, I saw one of the WhatsApp groups, had 3 boxes of shoes in a hanging garment. I want to know about them because they're not hanging garments. Therefore, they must come under the standard DIMS, which I think you'll find they don't. Okay? This is a con.
There, please, Steve.
And
Give that question there, please.
And I also, and I also want to see any hangers that are coming through as packets, because I will address them direct with Connor. I mean, we're not having Nick starting to rip us off now. We're not letting another company get away with it. And I'll switch over to Mick because he's obviously looking at one of the other questions.
Well, I think that's great advice. You're just giving people their Ed, because there is a difference, isn't there? And what you've spotted is how a company has tried to get round.
What they're trying to do at the end of the day.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's great advice. Thanks for that, mate. Belinda, you've sent a message in. Can we get the CDM's behaviour addressed? Well, I'd like to know more about what's the type of behaviour are we talking about. I think that would be helpful. So, if you want to private messages, Belinda, about what you think the problems are, the location, the person's name, you can do that in confidence to us, and we'll come back to you.
Mick, could I just mention we had a tiny bit of news on this today?
Connor, go on, Steve. I think you deserve it.
Connor called me this afternoon as well after some very frank emails have been going out from me over the last few days. The big news for anyone who's in London North region, all CDMs will be being retrained next week and made to understand the agreement. I kid you not.
No, I can verify that. Absolutely back Steve on that.
I think Connor loves my emails as much as CDMs who have received them in the past love them. And whilst everyone deserves dignity at work, when you're not treating people in the same fashion, then I promise you, it doesn't matter who it is, we will come for you. And that is the same for ducks. I do not care. I'm here to protect members. You're my boss, the same as you're everyone else's here boss when we're an officer. And ultimately, if it's not working right in your area and you think there's a problem, then let one of your reps know and they will go to Connor and make sure the CDMs are done. Tracy, we'll take the specific CDM, we'll get the message on to Connor, we'll make it happen, because a lot of them think they can make up the rules as they go along.
Yeah. And Steve's just stopped them. Well done, Steve.
Okay, shall we go to the next item that we wanted to have a discussion with people on, because I think people have got the gist of where we are with the upgrades and that.
Can I just raise one thing, Mick, about these packets? People, CNE has been mentioned twice. What are we going to do about CNE? Now, we tried to deal with CNE before Christmas. We said that we would tackle CNE, sending everything through as a postable to send us all the evidence, and we would take that to the company. And we were met with a brick wall. Couriers didn't want us to deal with CNE because they would lose their admin payments. So I think now they're going to have to make a decision. Do they want us to tackle CNE and get everything banded correctly? Or do they want us to leave it so that they can claim their admin payments? They can't have it both ways. So which is it going to be?
Yeah, I think that's a really fair point, Susie. And, you know, thinking aloud, it may be that we may have to do a survey amongst our members, because we've got obviously a group of members that are telling us one thing, that they're fed up of doing upgrades, they're fed up with the amount of upgrades, they're fed up with the misbanding that's taking place, and they shouldn't have to be upgrading. And then we've got other couriers that are saying they're happy with it because are getting an upgrade payment on top. So
there we go, mate. Straight away, look.
So there is a payment issue here. Now, I'm not going to say what people would prefer, but I think it's now becoming, and I think Susie's hit the nail on there, dear. I think at the end of the day, it's come to a situation where we need to potentially ask our members what they think, and we'll go with the majority decision. And we'll go with the majority because, you know, we do have payments agreed with the company for upgrading. Many couriers have told us they're happy with that. They don't mind upgrading, and because they get the payments for it. But then again, there are couriers that are saying they're getting it, and perhaps there may be people that are not always upgrading. I don't know, but I think we're going to have to do a survey on it because
I think it's important that let our members decide, because already on here tonight we've got difference of opinions.
Okay, so what I will do is we will order a survey and survey on upgrades. Okay, so we will do that. We will ask people regards that, and because I do think we did say we wanted to chase down C&E, and we've tried to do that, but obviously when it comes to putting it into practice, people were refusing to give us the information because they wanted to keep the upgrades. So, but anyway, I think we've done this argument to death. I just wanted to finish off on something, and that is to inform you that we will be sending out another news brief on what's taken place, and we will send out a copy of the communication that Connor has sent to us regards that, because it's not an apology to me and to the national reps. It actually was an apology to everybody else as well, like, you know.
Can I just say, just on that, Mick, I think the wording was, can we accept on behalf of our members an apology? And that's the wording that Connor used. So we were only accepting it on behalf of our members. That's right.
That's right. So, and you know, they did it straight away. And I think anybody, you know, and there's plenty that's on here that know Hermes. I've never known them apologise. And Ed, you've been with them over 20 odd years, and don't think you've ever known them apologise as well, have you?
I've never. And can I be honest with you? I think one of the things that was, I was a little bit gobsmacked, is that there was no question we will pay it back. In all fairness, I think we have to be honest. We haven't gone in there and had a hard fight. I think Mick's email did the damage. That he was representing the members, and the members had absolutely had enough. So they've sat up and listened, you know. But again, look, I go a long way back with Hermes, and I hear people say, "Oh, the GMB aren't doing this, they aren't doing that." Look, we can't deal with everything. Okay, we are dealing with things a bit by bit, and I think Mick will agree with me. We are far in advance of where we thought we would be following the tribunal. I think, if Mick's honest, I don't think we'd even thought we'd have had an agreement by now. So we are way in advance.
No, we were talking about 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, just to get an agreement.
Yeah.
So look, you know, we are here. We are listening to our members. We are fighting for you, not for any other reason. We're here for our members.
Yeah.
And I think today and this last week, we've seen that in absolute action. And we won't stop. We have no intention of stopping. Yeah, this is a fantastic victory. There are other battles, okay? And we will be on those straight away after this meeting and next week and the week after. Thanks, mate.
I just I wanted to go on to another subject because I think, you know, this has raised quite a number of issues with members. So just very briefly, I just want to give people an update on where we are regards free work, and then I want to go on to the pay claim. So where we are around that is we've already had some conversations. So we as you know, we've been in dialogue with the company, and the company put out a communication at the back end of April to all couriers regarding free work, and basically said he stopped, it was wrong. And because they have been accused of this within the Guardian. Last week, people may have seen news reports that certain MPs have called for a select committee inquiry into what is taking place over free work. Now, I've been a little bit worried about this because personally, I wanted the issue to be right. It wasn't about blaming people. It wasn't about blaming ducks, and it wasn't about blaming Hermes. It was about actually putting something right and righting a wrong. And that is where I've been consistently at. The issue is now that's all out of our hands because MPs have got hold of this and they're running with it. And the thing that I'd like to tell people is this: once you put your trust in the hands of MPs that are meddling in industrial relations, well, then it's up to you then to keep them going and to see this thing through, because it's not about column inches in a newspaper one day. This is people's livelihoods that we're dealing with, and there are some really bad allegations that we have uncovered at a number of sites, and quite frankly, some of those allegations that we've given to the company didn't do anything on it, just didn't act, and so it serves them right, and I've made it quite clear to them. It serves them right what's happened, because they had the information to stop this and they didn't. And I don't know why at the end of the day they didn't do that. I'm not even going to bother answering that question. But what I am fearful of is this. And I have said on the last meeting that we did that if I was a DUC, I would be taking some legal advice, because I believe that the system is so that actually it's the DUC that could be classed as the employer, not Hermes, because the way the contract situation is, which means that the DUC, and it's all right, people saying, well, Hermes are not paying me for this and they're not paying me for that. Doesn't matter in the eyes of the law. You will get a double whammy. If someone takes a court case and lodges an employment tribunal against you for bogus self-employment, they could particularly win that case. Why would I say that? Well, because I've done it against Hermes, I've done it against Uber, and I've done it against other companies. We actually do know what bogus self-employment means, and what worker status means, and what employed status means. They are the three categories that are out there. And our advice at this moment is we believe that the delivery units potentially fall into the employed category, but they definitely fall into the worker status category. And it would be the DUC that is potentially responsible for this. Now, we're not encouraging claims to be taken. It's a system that was set up from the days of the gig economy. Now, there are going to be some discussions with us over the next couple of weeks about how this is taken forward and how it's going to be dealt with. And one of the MPs that has lodged the complaints in Parliament and has asked for, he's also been in touch, and we've had a discussion, and the company have extended an invitation to him as well to take part in the meetings. I'm speaking to him later this week, and I'm hopeful that he's going to take up that invitation, because I do think at the end of the day we can potentially resolve this to everybody's satisfaction. The thing that surprised me was that the company actually want to negotiate it through our agreement, which doesn't cover the DUCs in that respect, but it covers the couriers. So we're going to be having some discussions about that and how we can deal with it on that basis. So that's by way of an update, everybody. We'll keep everybody informed about it as we move forward. The next thing is, Ed and Susie, do you want to talk about the pay claim that we've submitted to people?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, there was a rumour and a little bit of bad feeling among our members that there was a rumour that it was going to be delayed. I know I had some conversations on, I think, the Wales group and a couple of the other WhatsApp groups. We can absolutely tell you that today we submitted, the whole national committee, we submitted the pay claim on time to Hermes. Okay. We sat with them, we've been through it, and they wanted more detail on certain items, which Mick presented to them. So it is now in, and it has now started. There is no delay. And I'll be honest with you, there are some big issues that will need to be discussed. For example, I know somebody's just put down, sorry, I didn't catch your name, but what about pensions? Well, that's exactly what we've asked for in the pay claim. Yeah, pensions is on the pay claim. So, yeah, we will. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, and I know members will be straight away saying, so when will the pay deal come? When will the pay offer come? We don't know. Okay. We need to book meetings in. Yeah. It is a negotiation, as Mick said. Yeah, and let's not face it. Hermes will have gone away now, and they will be doing their sums. They will come back to us, and certainly the national reps who joined us this year or last year for last year's pay claim. You know what I mean. So the fact that we went backwards and forwards with meetings, that will be happening again. But we will keep you all updated. But again, we've asked for a rise in the packet rate, which the company now are well aware of, and we'll all be obviously going to do their sums. Any more highlights, Susie, that you want to go through?
We've asked for the protection of the rates again. We've asked for the holidays, so the 90-day booking limit on the holidays to be removed. Yep. We've asked for the increase in the admin payments. Anything else?
Can I just stop you there, Susie? I don't want to interrupt, but I've just spotted Valerie out of the corner of my eye. What is the pay claim, or what was in the pay claim? Can you tell us? That's what we're doing now, Valerie. So this is the pay claim that we submit to Hermes each year for our members. And again, some of our members have been saying, well, we should have had a vote on what went into the pay claim. We should have had a vote on having a vote to see what went into the pay claim. We literally surveyed you all. Only your items that you put in those surveys have gone into the pay claim. We did not sit and invent anymore. And again, Susie's just said about holidays. It seemed to be a little bit fractious on one of the groups that, well, I don't want any more holidays. It is not about individual people. We looked at the survey as in the round. So we looked at how many people wanted certain things. I mean, obviously, the packet racket, and we want better pay for packets. I have to say, I think that was about number one, wasn't it, Susie? It was.
It was. Yeah.
For obvious reasons, I don't think there was many couriers didn't use the word packet. To be truthful with you, but no, we looked at this in the round. So I want members to understand you have been consulted. It is your ideas, it is your thoughts, it is your words, it is your demands, it is what you want for the future, it's what's important to you that went into that pay claim to the company today. Not Mick's, not mine, not Susie's, nobody's. And just to be quite clear on that, because somebody did send me an email and say, well, as the chair of reps and you're the one putting it together, you could just put all your own ideas in. I will be quite honest, and I did it on purpose. The reps were given the survey and all your comments. I purposely did not complete the survey. So none of my ideas only yours would go into pay claim, so I could never be accused of that. And I don't think you did either. Did you,
I
Susie?
didn't. I didn't do the survey
So
either.
it is just our members that are talking to us and telling us what they want us to go and ask the company for. I just wanted to make that clear, Susie. Sorry.
Can we just add on the back of that we read every single reply?
Absolutely.
67 pages of replies. We read every single one and considered every single reply.
I actually pulled them all off onto a document, and there were 67 A4 pages. And one or two people had, well, I thought they were writing War and Peace personally.
War and Peace.
Yeah, I mean, one courier, and obviously I'm not going to name them, had 47 individual points for the pay claim. Look, it's a good problem to have. To quote Mick, it's a good problem to have members who are active, want to be part of it, want their voices heard, because that's what it's about. It's your voice, not ours, not Mick's, not the national committees, not Hermes. It's your voice and yours only. And I think that's very important. And again, just to reiterate, the pay claim is not delayed. Yeah. It will now be pushing on, and we will be in and out of meetings regularly now, looking at how that pay claim is going to shape up, how good it is for the courier, looking at what Hermes want. It's very important. It is a negotiation, as Mick has said, and we're going to be doing that in and out now. And we will keep you up to date on how things are going. But we do not want to rush this also. We want it right for you. I do not want to sell us short. Again, Mick has said earlier on over the upgrades, we don't want a knee-jerk reaction. We also don't want a knee-jerk reaction to the pay claim and just accepting the first offer we get just to get it through and get it done. It's not what we're here for. We want the best possible for our members. Susie?
Okay.
Sorry, sick of hearing my voice, I'm sure.
No. Sorry, Susie. Just before you come in, there's somebody's put a question up, and then we'll come back to this in a second, Susie, if you don't mind. I just Salem, I think it was, and it was about ducks, and would G&B support the ducks in the same way that we Salim, sorry. Would we support the ducks in the same way that we support couriers? Well, let me put it this way. We have quite a number of DUCs that are our members anyway, because they're also couriers. And yes, we have put support in. There is a WhatsApp group for them, and we have officers that have been assigned to that to deal with their interests. And in fact, we have been doing it. The issue is, I think what you're asking is, will the G&B be able to support you if somebody takes an employment tribunal claim against you? I don't think we can, because it will be you as a potential employer that would have to answer that tribunal. That is why we're saying to you, you need to get legal advice, because we think that the whole system needs fixing, and people do need protecting. Employment laws caught up. That's what's happened. And yes, a number of ducks want to do the right thing. They want to pay people correctly, stuff like that. Not a problem with that. There are some ducks that we're going to be quite honest with you, have made it quite clear to us that their business model is based on not paying people, having people working for free. And basically it's enslavement with some of the tricks that they get up to as well. So yes, we've got some really good people. They're trying to do the decent, honest thing. They're struggling with it. That is why we're saying you really need to get some advice here, because the system has now caught up. This isn't part of the Wild West gig economy anymore. There are people that have become smarter and have a greater understanding. And unfortunately, some individuals, I think, can now be placed at risk of potential court challenges if that was the case. That is why I'm saying it. And that's why I'm not doing it to encourage people to take court changes. I'm doing it so that people understand the seriousness of what I'm actually trying to advise DUCs, who I know, the vast majority, decent, hard-working people, and quite a number of them are members of our union anyway. So I wouldn't want to see a detriment to you in that regards anyway. Back to the pay claim, Susie.
I was just going to answer. I saw Luke had said something about reps voting.
Yeah. I was going to answer it, so I'll let you go.
But answering the survey, can I just say that all the reps are also couriers. They're also paying members of the GMB. Therefore, they are entitled to complete the survey as much as any other member. Ed and I chose not to remain completely impartial, but all the other reps were perfectly entitled to complete the survey, as were both of us, but we chose not to. I just think we need to make that clear that the reps are couriers in their own right. They're also paying members of the GMB, and I think sometimes that's forgotten that we also pay our subs.
And can I just say something? And it cropped up today about paying, right? Actually, there's somebody else sat here as well who's also a paying member, and that's Mick as well. You know, let's not forget that, you know, and sometimes, and again, I've been a bit sharp with one or two couriers who have said to me, I'm a paying member. We all are, okay? We are all paying members, including Mick, you know, including Steve, who's hiding in the background, running this show for us. We are all paying members. You know, this is a collective. It's not individuals. Yeah,
no,
that's why we all stand together.
Yeah, and there's I mean, there is a rule book requirement on me to be a paying member as well, along with Steve and other officers of our union. But that it's immaterial to me. That I just want to echo what Susie has said. I just want to make this point, Luke, and to other people, and please do take this in the right way. When we say we give a voice to our members, we give a voice to all of our members, not just a certain amount of members. So, you know, reps are an important part of our union. They are the backbone of our union. They do this on a voluntary basis. They're not getting paid for it. They're doing it on a voluntary basis. And they are entitled to have a voice the same as every other member. You know, they're not unpaid secretaries for couriers, just to process things. They are here to help people. And of course, they see what's going on. They talk to lots of other couriers. And of course, they've got ideas and views. So, you know, I would just like people to be a little bit more understanding of this, that actually all of our members have a voice, and we don't say it for fun. We put it out. We actually do put it into practice. So, you know, everybody's voice is important to us.
So back to the pay claim. Okay, Mick?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
somebody's just asked, will packets be going up again this year in the pay claim?
Well,
the answer is we don't know. Okay, we're into a negotiation now, and let's be very clear, because I think some couriers think that we walk into Hermes, sit down and go, right, this is what we want. We want this, 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 and this. Okay, somebody got the kettle on, all done, and Hermes just go, yeah, fine, yeah, no problem. It's not like that. Hermes will want things back as well. We know. And don't forget, after what Mick has just said and Susie's just said, we are couriers. We know how important packets and the weight of packets are. Okay, that is why let's just remind you all. That is why we fought packets down from 2K last year. So we will not be looking at this present time to have any increase. We are couriers too. When we sat there negotiating, we're also negotiating our own personal pay. That's why it's couriers that represent couriers. So we know it inside out, and we know how it hurts. Okay, so you know, I can't guarantee what's going to happen in the pay claim. I would be foolish to. I haven't got a clue what offer Hermes are going to come and put back on the table. I don't know what Hermes are going to accept of that pay claim or challenge. Mick doesn't, Susie doesn't, none of the national committee do.
No, it's true. It's true.
We will do our best for our members.
Yeah. There's a question just being raised about the WhatsApp groups. and going on about the tennis games that are going on inside some of those WhatsApp groups and why a question's not being answered. Well, it depends what questions are being asked, to be honest. And if people are after certain information, then you need to talk to your full-time regional official in your union. It's not for issues that are on WhatsApp groups. We don't talk. I know what's going on. We don't talk about the membership. We don't promote it, and there's a very good reason for that at this moment in time. And I don't think people are playing tennis with each other. I just think some people have got bee in the bonnet, and they may not have something else valid to do. And and I would just say to people that our WhatsApp groups are not there for people to create arguments with each other or to point them out. And I've made it quite clear in some respects that there should be reasonable discourse and good behaviour associated, because otherwise we'll just take people out of the groups. It's not about picking on people, and it's not about dealing with things. They are for information, and they are for people so couriers can talk to each other. We've created that facility, and all we're just saying is, look, just use it wisely. But there are certain questions, you can ask all you like. I'm not going to answer them. And I don't have to give a reason why I don't want to answer them, when it's got nothing to do with about working issues and things like that. If it's about our membership levels, and if it's about this, that, or the other, just work it out yourself. What we're dealing with is we are still in a building phase as a trade union, and we are building. And I will tell you this: there are 150 members joining us each month. I'd like it to be more, but there are 150 members roundabouts that join us each month. So yeah, our membership is rocketing, but that's where we're going with it.
Can I just jump on what Stuart said there? I think Stuart's raised a very, very good point there.
Yeah.
The WhatsApp groups can be busy places. People will post something. We are all out working all day. We have our rounds to do as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And Mick is off. Supporting all the other companies that he has to support. We come back on an evening, and I came in one day, and there was nearly 500 messages across the WhatsApp groups to catch up on. Look, great, because some of them are chitty-chatty, and you're all getting to know each other and building the communities, which I think is important. But if you have a real desperate issue, do it on a private message to us on WhatsApp or on our emails.
Yes.
You can see our emails going across the bottom of the screen there. We have a slide very shortly that has all the reps' emails on. Email your rep, okay? Right? And look, I've come, and again, I'm going to hold my hands up. I have not been getting back to people as fast as I would like, because we've had, the investigation on the pay deal not being paid, and I know somebody's asked for an update on that, which I'll give you in a sec. We've had the upgrade issue. We have big issues coming down the line. We do try and get back to you all, and look, don't be frightened to send me another email saying, look, you haven't answered it. Can you please answer me? And again, sometimes I'll be honest with you.
15 minutes later.
Well, yeah.
Not 15 minutes later.
And not at 5:30 in the morning either.
Yeah, look, there are some examples we do need to tell people about. We can laugh about it, but actually, it could cause some issues. Somebody sends an email at 5:30, and then they send you another email at 5:45 saying, why haven't you answered my email that I've just sent you 15 minutes ago? I think most people would know that that's not right. KJ, what's your issue with the WhatsApp groups? Do you think there's some issues that are taking place? Because what I want to assure you, if there are some issues taking place, Ed's just giving you all some brilliant advice. All you need to do is just come to one of us very privately, Let us know what's taking place. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not reading those WhatsApp groups. If you think I'm sat in a chair waiting for a WhatsApp message to come up, I'm not. You know, I've got other things to do. And so have my colleagues as well. You know, and, you know, I know if we say to people, why weren't you on this StreamYard event tonight? You know, why weren't you? Well, it was a beautiful evening. I was sat outside in the garden having a drink. And what's wrong with that? Of course, that's a natural thing to do. So, likewise, don't think we're always sat on the WhatsApp groups waiting for a message coming through to us and stuff like that. You know, we will always try and answer. We will always try and get back. Officially, where we deal with things is via email. And if you want to do things properly, really you should go to your region first, your regional rep or your regional organizer, and deal with it on there. There are people that sometimes pose a question in the WhatsApp group that actually it's not appropriate for there, because they might need some help and some assistance, and not everybody's going to be looking out for that, because you know what it's like. If I've not been on the WhatsApp for a particular region for a day, I go on it the next day. There's 240 odd missed messages that I've missed. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go back through 240 odd messages just to see it, and neither are my colleagues. And that might seem a bit harsh to people, but, you know, we're not paid to sit in chairs just waiting for messages, you know, we're out doing things and trying to get on behalf. So if you do need to get hold of us, use the official methods. And if you want us to send out information on what are the official methods for contacting people, we'll be happy to do that as well. You know, what we want to do is make it as easy as possible for couriers to have contact with us, and so we can get that contact right. And by the way, you know, if we miss the odd email, if we do miss the odd contact that you've direct messaged us, I apologize now, you know, but we are in a different world. There's a pandemic. Everybody's using electronic communications, text messages, WhatsApp groups, Signal, Telegram, email. Well, I mean, there are so many different platforms now. Some of us can't keep up with it. And that's not an excuse. It's just a fact of life in some respects. So I'll apologize now if somebody feels offended if I've not got back to them straight away.
Just on the back of that, Mick, I did actually work with Kay on this, and I want to just send a message out to all our members across all the WhatsApp groups. The one thing we will not tolerate is people taking information off those WhatsApp groups to share with CDMs, RDMs, or anybody else in the company. If you're caught, you will be expelled from those groups without explanation. You will be gone. Okay? Those we don't spend our time checking very carefully that everybody's a member, so it's safe for then our members to go out and spread information that they shouldn't be. Yeah. Okay? And Kay had a result of that, right? Okay? It was sorted out, and the person that was the problem is now no longer a part of that group. So a warning to you all, we will not tolerate it.
I think there might not be a member of the union as well.
That we do that.
Yeah. There might not also be a member of the union in some respects as well, Ed, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Steve, can you do us a favour? Can you post the slide back up, please? I've lost where we are on the agenda. We've sort of rattled into an area. We're enjoying it so much.
So have I, Mick, to be
honest. Ed, do you want to talk a little bit about new holiday update? And
I put that on.
A bit brief. If we can keep this a bit brief, because I want to get the switch to SE Plus in, and then I want to finish about 8 o'clock if we can, please.
Right. So very quickly, I've seen people on the WhatsApp groups, and I've had emails with couriers struggling with the new holiday system. Right, I'm gonna be as brief as I can. If you're really struggling, contact me direct, and I'll get back to you. The new holiday system has changed recently. I'm not quite sure.
Steve's having a bit of fun. I think he's getting bored.
He's getting bored, isn't he?
Yeah.
Look, new holiday system. You now only book the days off that you require. Gone is this way you have to book a week off, but if you only you have to book the week, even if you work for only 2 or 3 or 4 days, you only now book the days off that you want. There is no compunction now that you have to book a week or 2 weeks. That has gone, right? Okay, just bear that in mind. So if you want Monday to Monday, you would have to book it your Monday to Sunday, or Monday to Saturday, and miss out the Sunday because you're already off. Don't waste a holiday day and then book the Monday as a single day, because you can now book everything as a single day if you want. Okay, but we were looking at it the other night, and you can book durations. So you can book Monday to Saturday and then add in the 1 day on the Monday. Don't waste your holiday for the Sunday, okay? But it is now you book exactly what you are taking off, and you will be paid for exactly what you book. So if you book the Sunday off, well, I wasn't working the Sunday, that you know now, you will be paid for the Sunday. If that's what you want, that's fine. I just don't want members losing holidays for days they would have had off anyway. Is that clear to everybody? If you haven't, just pop a note in the comment and I'll go back through it again. I think that's fairly clear. Have I explained that clearly, Susie?
Yeah, that's fine. So I suppose use me as an example. I work 5 days. If I wanted to take a week off, whereas before I'd have to book Monday to Sunday, book the week and be paid for 5 days. Now I book Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They are the days that I work, so I just book those days off.
Okay.
Simple.
Stuart's just asked, is the consecutive Saturdays being ban lifted? I'm not aware. I think that was an IT glitch. I don't think there was a deliberate ban, because you can still book up to 14 days off. It just depends how you sort them 14 days out. Somebody who's a 7-day courier will need to book all 7 off. Somebody like Susie who's a 5-day courier will only book the 5 off they need. It is a much simpler system. So get out of your head that you need to book a week, but will only be paid for the days off your work. It's gone now. You book and are paid for the days you want off. Okay, I think that's it, Mick. I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that.
Oh, well, to be honest, I mean, we've got another meeting coming up in a couple of weeks. We could keep this on the agenda because it might be an issue that has cropped up again. But I thought you explained it wonderfully, actually, in a very, very simple way. So, absolutely brilliant. Just before we go on to the other issue, I'm still waiting for Hermes to rectify my booked holiday. I do 5 days, but they've taken 7, booked before new rules. Ange, have you sent this in to us before, Ange? Because I think we might need to have a look at that.
Yeah, if you send it to me, Mick, I don't know which reason. If you send it to me, and I will look at it, or I'll pass it on to your rep that can look at it for you. Because I'm aware there's 1 or 2 couriers now getting caught out. They have emailed the company and they've had no response. If you put down what days that you work, how many you booked, and how many you want not paying for, let me know, and I will discuss it with the company for you. It's not a problem.
Any update very quickly on unsafe pallets with the pics that have been sent?
Yes. Well, no. Yes and no. Some have gone to RDCFs, which again, I want people to keep emailing in and WhatsApping and telling us what they want on the agenda for that. Some have gone to RDCFs and are being looked at. And I think Laura from out of Barry's region, again, pallets that had, I think had blood on some of the parcels, even in the middle of a pandemic. Seriously, even in normal time, that's disgusting. Half-eaten food in it. They've been addressed as well. We will be addressing this now on every RDCF, so please keep your pictures coming in. And as we go through each RDCF, which are rolling each month now, by the way, we will be asking the question, can we have this sorted, please? It's disgusting. And it's dangerous, okay? It is absolutely dangerous.
Dead right. Yeah, Nick Tomlinson's posted up things saying we should have frequently asked questions posted up on the website and stuff like that about best practice. Can I just say to everybody, this isn't a threat. It is definitely a promise. My 2 erstwhile colleagues that are alongside me here, we have talked about podcasts. We have talked about other things. just give us a little bit of time. It's been a bit of a busy time. We will be getting on with this. We think it's a great idea. So definitely, Nick, it's not a threat. It is a promise. We will get on with it, and we can post some of these things up, and hopefully members will find it quite useful.
Okay. Just to update you, I've received, I don't know how many emails recently wanting a podcast on, because me and Susie promised to do a podcast on SE Plus, which actually links us very nicely in Mick to switching to SE Plus.
That's
so
right.
Me and Susie are going to try and get that out before the weekend, because I know there's a lot of questions about SE Plus, because there are deadlines looming now where you have to switch to SE Plus or you will lose your round holder status. Okay, you will still be entitled to work as a cover courier, but that is where it will stop. Okay, you will lose your round. This is not us saying this, it is the company that is saying this. We just want, like Mick did with the Ducks and has warned them very clearly, we want to warn each of our members and each of any courier watching this broadcast, do not ignore switching to SE Plus. You have to switch to SE Plus, and the deadlines now are getting closer. There'll be a deadline at the end of this month, a deadline at the end of July, and the final deadline will be the end of August. That's how it's closing in now. We already have 260 couriers out of the first deadline and 300 couriers out of the second deadline that did not switch. Those 560, am I right, Susie, with that number, have now lost their round status unless they've swapped since. Okay, but can I just warn everybody? I don't want you to get into a false sense of security that actually they're not going to cover the rounds. I don't have to switch because they're never going to cover all the rounds in my sub-depot. What they're going to do, okay, not this deadline at the end of June, I think the one in July and August, if you do not respond to the deadline, within 4 days, your round will be advertised on Marketplace. And it's going to be automatic. It's not going to be your CDM. The system will automatically advertise your round. Okay? So if somebody is sat in your depot who likes your round, they can go, I'll do it. Oh, by the way, while I'm doing it, I'll go SE Plus. Don't risk it. And can I just say something? Because I had a long debate with again, the Wales group. By the way, I'm not on the Wales group as such, but we had a long debate about SE Plus. Can we all stop saying SE Plus is a con, SE Plus is a Hermes get-out clause? The two people who were the main... Yeah, I know, Mick's laughing. Right? Two people that really sat with Hermes and hammered this out are on this broadcast, and that's myself and Mick. Okay? We're going to be quite open about that. Right? Yeah, I was going to say that there's Mick. Yeah, still has the original agreement.
This is the original signed agreement. There's the pen marks, everything. It's the original signed agreement.
Right. Now, there is some, and again, I want to do this very quickly. There is some rumours or some misconception that actually you don't want to be SE Plus, because the workers have a much better deal. They do not. Okay? SE Plus is a much better deal than even the 194 got. That's because it wasn't just done by legislation. It was done by Mick, who knows his stuff inside out. Right? I had a discussion. Workers have a right to unpaid time off when they're sick. No, they don't. The only way you have that is through the SE Plus agreement. Okay? The SE Plus agreement is the agreement with Hermes that affords you time off when you're sick. Now, I know it was popped up on it here earlier. Somebody was thanking Stuart for the work he did with a courier. Yeah. Stuart Perry used that agreement to get that courier who was his round was taken off him, by the way, because he was ill, which is disgraceful. Okay, he was ill. He was hospitalised, and they took his round off him. Okay, Stuart Perry used that agreement and got him his work back. So please don't think it doesn't work, right? Now, Stuart, I'm sure we'll pop up on these comments very shortly, okay? But Stuart Perry used that in Birmingham, right? I know in Bob's region, a courier, one of his drivers, who happened to be his wife, got badly bitten by a dog and again was hospitalised. That courier got the time off. because, and again, we had a bite back from the company. Oh, it's a driver. It's not the actual courier. It was a courier's wife. In that agreement, it says family. Okay? Family illnesses. Again, that courier took the time off he needed to get his wife back to work, all because of the SE Plus agreement. Okay? So when you are, and I know, look, let's address the elephant in the room, the 11% pay cut. Okay? This is not to pay for your holidays. Let's make that clear right now. Okay? Mick's here, Mick's the expert. You know, if you don't believe me, it is not to pay for your holidays. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why. Some couriers want to be very careful, because some couriers, right, get paid a lot more than the 11% back, right? And I will be honest with you, I'm one of them. Okay? Yeah, be very careful saying, oh, it's 11% that goes in the pot. It's not. It's an offer from the company for you to switch to SE Plus. Okay? I know people, yeah, and look, I'm a courier. The last thing I would ever want to see anybody is having rate cuts, right? Unfortunately, that is how it is with SE Plus. But look, I've said it time and time again, and I keep saying it. We've seen the upgrades, right, this week. People were sickened to the back teeth, right? We've seen the packet racket. We've seen, and look, I could sit here all night and read complaints about the packet racket, about upgrades, about late lorries. Do you know the one thing I could not sit here? I would only be sat here for 2 minutes if I had to read the complaints about SE Plus, because we don't get any.
No, we don't.
We literally do not get any, right?
No.
I can't remember the last time I saw or somebody came to me to complain about SE Plus, right? It doesn't happen. Now, sadly, it's a good problem, but a bad thing in a way, because I wish those couriers or SE Plus would actually promote it, but they don't. When something's good, they just stay quiet. No. So please don't. If you're SE Plus, don't stay quiet.
There's also another issue, isn't there, Ed? We've got members that are lifestyle couriers and they want to remain lifestyle couriers.
Yeah.
They've got more than 4 rounds. That's the way that they are. They may need us at some stage and things like that. And there's been 1 or 2 people that have made the daft accusation that we don't represent these people. Well, of course we do represent them, and we've got loads of cases where we can prove where we've represented lifestyle couriers. But the grade lifestyle courier with less than 4 rounds is disappearing. It's going. And the company gave people notice of this a year last April. Now, let me just tell you something, because people are more complaining about it, that nobody's fighting for them. Well, actually, the company has given people over 12 months' notice that we're going to change this. Can I ask you, in an employed situation, how much notice does a company have to give a worker to change their contract? People need to be really clear about this. The company gave people more than 12 months' notice. And if anybody wanted to take a challenge legally on this matter about can the company do this, they would lose it in court, hands down. And the reason why is because a judge would rule that actually the company was being more than lenient and being more than reasonable with the notice that they had given for the change of the notification of the position. And in effect, they're not changing the job. They're changing the title. And with the title comes conditions that people wouldn't ordinarily get. And, and Ed's really explained this about the issue about sickness, things like that. We've just had we've just been in the midst of one of the worst pandemics and one of the worst situations that this country has faced since the Second World War. And if that hadn't brought it on to people about the need to protect people with their jobs. So in the SE Plus agreement about protecting people with sickness and time off and family illness and things of that nature and exceptional circumstance, what that is all about is it's not ensuring that people will be paid. It's about protecting the rounds, because there were so many occasions in the past where people's work was withdrawn because they didn't turn up for one day because of circumstances beyond their control. And in fact, you know, Ed told me a shocking story a number of years ago about an instruction that he was given by a field manager, as they were called at the time, and that was to ring this person who was in the hospital by the side of his wife, who had been rushed into hospital, and that courier was told back to work because parcels come first. Ed was told, we pass on a message that actually his work has been withdrawn and that he's no longer required. That is what we've protected people from, that type of crass, horrible, nasty behaviour, where people just treat a courier as though they're a commodity. So if people want to talk about the value of SE Plus, and if people want to keep talking about the zeros, I've not met a courier yet who have said that they are paid less than what they were prior to when they were SE Plus. A number of couriers have said they're paid around the same because they get holiday pay, they get upgrade payments, and they get things like that, which a lifestyle courier doesn't get. But plenty of couriers have told me very privately they get paid a lot more.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
they get paid a lot more.
I'll be honest with you, Mick. It's almost like
we've actually got the figures from the company to prove it as well.
Yeah,
so.
It's almost like some of the couriers that have come to me. It's almost like they want to keep it a secret because you know I had a courier come to me on the other day in an email and said, "Oh, yeah, great this SE Plus, great, glad I swapped over, but I'm a bit concerned because normally I earn around about 95 to 100 quid a day." What I'm really worried about is I've had my holiday pay, and it was 160 quid. I went, well, that's how it works out. It's an average pay. He went, are you sure? I didn't spend it in case the company. I said, no, look, worked it out. It was went away quite happy. But I've just seen Valerie on there. I've just seen Kay on there. Thank you, ladies, because it's nice that you are speaking up and standing up for SE Plus. Okay, look, we can hate it all we want. You all have to move to SE Plus, okay? Unless you want to give up your rounds. But please do not see it as something you are being forced to do, right? It is something that is beneficial to you, okay? Again, just on the agreement that we have, 7.5.3, okay? And I think the reps know I think it's chiseled into most reps' brains, I think, because we've all used it that many times. But couriers are saying on here they are being protected. Okay, they were ill after the jab. The CDM had to cover the round. Somebody else was in hospital. Look, we all you saw me put a post out across the WhatsApp groups. There, Mick's got it again.
I mean, it's there. I mean, I mean, you're right, Ed. It's chiseled into people's minds. I mean, look, my book opens at that page.
Yeah, so does mine, Mick.
I mean, because I've had to use it that many times to explain to people, look, you've got protection here. We've got protection for you. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. Go back, tell your CDM, quote this, and if you've got no joy, come back to me, and I'll have a word with them. And usually that works. Usually that works, to be honest.
But look,
by the way, it's on our website. It's on our website.
On the website.
It's there for everybody. It's on the website.
And by the way, we are actually going to negotiate more protections into that paragraph in the pay claim again this year. So and again, look, I know it doesn't affect a lot of people, but we think it's very, very important that things like paternity and maternity are put in there. And again, I think me and Mick will all have our hands up. We missed it when we did it, so now we're going to make sure that's put in there now. Again, so that's more protection. But it is for your protection, okay? And it works. Ask some of the couriers. Tell you what, you're all aware of Andy Hudson. I put it right across the WhatsApp groups. Poor guy, laid in hospital, and the CDM who's covering you round, right? We bounced on that, and Jason reacted immediately. We were on to Connor. This is the agreement. Andy Hudson's round, I think, was covered within the hour. I think, wasn't it, Jason? Just seen your post there. Within the hour, there was RDMs, DMs, No. These round will be covered. It'll be covered till he comes back. You know, again, Stuart's absolutely verified that he got a careers round back. It's your protection, okay? But not only that, there's the admin payments. You don't get those as a worker. It's purely part of the SE Plus agreement, okay?
Yeah. Steve, there was a question up from Valerie a minute ago. Can you just go back to it, please? It caught my eye for some reason. I've been a courier for 20. No, it was another one.
Was it about the reps?
Yeah, no, it was.
No.
It would be. Would it be a good idea to have sub depot reps? Can I just say,
right.
Yes? Do you want to be one? Do you want to be one, Valley? Send me your name. Send me your contact details. You can do it tomorrow. Look, can I tell you what we did? Last autumn, we wrote out to people saying, would you like to be local depot contacts? We don't want to confuse people by calling them local depot reps. There was some confusion about this. The agreement is quite clear. We have 9 national reps for each one of our 9 GMB regions. So they are both a regional and a national rep for their on behalf of their GMB region. And we come together and we deal with all the business that we have to do in accordance with the agreement. But yes, we want people to become local depot contacts. And what you can do then is you can feed into your national regional rep any issues that are taking place, and plus you can feed back to the members, and we can get the word out there. We can improve our communications on the ground. So please do me a favor. If you want to do this, right, you can send me an email. You can send Ed an email. You can send Susie an email. You can send the other reps an email. However, they all have to come to me at the end of the day, because I have to put it on a list. I have to inform the regions about this, and we need the delivery unit name so we can get things better. So Valerie, I think you've got my email. Send it to me, please. Tell me what your delivery unit is, what your membership number is, things like that.
Stuart as well, Mick. Stuart's gonna. He said he would like to do it as well. So Stuart, send one to Mick as well, please. Yeah,
please get them in. Please get them in. Look, and if we've got 50 at a depot, that's fantastic.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We are not restricted on the amount of numbers that we can have at a depot because it's not in the agreement, so we can do what we like.
Can I just say, there are 728 depots out there. Now, I know some of them are closing down, being merged, and pop-ups are disappearing. If we just imagine what we could do if we had at least one contact in every one of those DUs, right?
728.
Right. At the moment, we don't have access or the information that's going on in every DU. That means unless something happens that we're aware of, we can't help. Okay. Now, we've seen tonight people raising broken pallets. I don't know how many pictures of dirty, stinky toilets I've seen in DUs. Thick dust on the floor that you couldn't even breathe in. Right? Okay. All those things have been rectified because we know about them. Okay. So if you're in a DU, think about becoming a contact for us, because look, we're not asking you to do a load of work. All we need is that flow of information. Pick the phone up, send me a text. Ed, Susie, Barry, Steve. We've got a problem in the depot. Can you just have a look at this? We will react to it because we know. Oh, okay.
Brilliant.
I think, Mick, we are sort of running out of time.
we are. We even one of our members flashed up. We're past 8 p.m. Well, why ruin a good conversation sometimes? I mean, I think we'll hold a meeting one day, and we'll invite everybody to bring back a bottle of beer along or something like that. We could all have a bit of a social drink together as well. But hopefully we can do that soon. Can I just say, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks to my good friends Susie and Ed for their participation in answering people. There is the contact list of all the reps, and hopefully in the next week we're going to have a 9th person on there. Hopefully we filled the vacancy for our Birmingham and West Midlands region. Someone's come forward. I've been told I'm the quiet. I'm waiting for Stuart to privately tell me officially.
Come on, Stuart.
And he's keeping it as a surprise. I know he is. So we'll do that. So thanks, Susie. Thanks, Ed. Steve, behind the scenes, thank you again.
Thank you very much, Steve.
For your time and
Yeah,
help
thank you, Steve.
in running this system. And everybody, the next meeting that we will be having will be on Tuesday, the 13th of July at 6:30 p.m. And we look forward to seeing you then. Please get as many people to come on and answer questions, ask them. We'll try and get round to everybody, and you know, it's great to have a nice conversation. Thank you for what you're doing. You know, it's an absolute pleasure dealing with you all. So see you all soon, everybody. Have a good evening and enjoy the rest of the week. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
From sunrise until sunset, and dusk until dawn, every minute of every hour of every day, on the front line, it's key workers keeping our country moving, putting themselves at risk to keep others safe, for the vulnerable, for the sick, for the young and the old. We rise to the challenge. We care, we protect, we help, we fix, we deliver for everyone. We will get through this, and it's thanks to our key workers. We're proud to represent heroes, and not all heroes wear capes. Key workers deserve recognition, protection and support. Get us on your side. Join us today.